I'm retired Battalion Chief Larry Cockman, Chairman of the Greensboro Fire Department History Book Committee. The American Fire Service is rich in tradition and culture. A firefighter's life is filled with many emotional highs and lows. Stories of major fires, national disasters, medical calls, firehouse living, and family life are often verbally shared from one generation to another. Many times these stories are lost forever when a firefighter passes away. In an effort to preserve these stories, in 2019, the Greensboro Fire Department History Book Committee launched a new program of recording audio-video of our retirees' lives. These stories will be shared on our website, gfhbc.org. In 2020, we did not record because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Please listen as these firefighters share their life experiences with all of us.
My name is Dennis Pinnix. I'm 72 years old and I retired November 1st, 1996. I was a captain on Engine 7 when I retired. Am I originally from Greensboro? Yes, I was born and raised in Greensboro. Do I have any relatives on the fire department or have had? My brother Randy Pinnix came on the fire department 4 years after I did. Before I became a firefighter, I laid brick for a living. My starting salary on the fire department was $627 a month. People in my training class that came through with me, I can tell you a few names. They were Mike Brown, Craig Lewis, Emmett Van Ness, David Moore, Sonny Mitchell, Robert Webster, Vance Rail. There were several other ones. I think it was Bill Williams, William Williams. There was about 14 or 15 of us in that training class. I guess the funniest story in training that happened that all of us got a kick out of was when we had to wear the blackout mask and go through the smoke lab. Chief Hilliard and Chief Kent had put cardboard boxes against the walls, and they gave us strict instructions to keep our hands against the walls and go around any object that we got to and go back to the wall to find our way out. And all of us did pretty good except Sonny Mitchell. All he heard was keep my hand against the wall. So all the boxes were slung out in the middle of the floor. Sonny stayed against the wall. He came out, so they nicknamed him Mole. Did I always want to be a firefighter? From a young age, yes, I did. A lot of the firefighters for Greensboro Fire Department went to 16th Street Baptist Church, where I was a member at. And they invited me to come up to Old Central Station downtown on Saturday afternoons and play the guitar with them and just sit around and fellowship with them. And man, every time I go up there, it makes me want to be a fireman just that much more. Yes, I got out of training December the 1st, 1974, and went to Old Central Station downtown on Engine 2. Captain Wooten was my first captain, Bob Wooten. I remember some of the people that were up there at Old Central Station. You know, there was 4 different companies up there, plus rescue truck. So it was a lot of people up there. But I remember Woody Parrish, your brother Raymond was there, Chuck Smith, Lynn Coleman was up there. There was a lot of firefighters up there. The funny moments or pranks in my career, not that I can mention. Our firehouse living, that was a special time. I mean, we spent a third of our life together. So it was a bond that can never be broken. I mean, we all worked together. We all stayed at the fire station together. We ate together. We prayed together. I mean, it was a very, very bonding time at the firehouse. What value do I see in us staying together? Is, like I said, it just builds a bond that can never be broken. Was I a good cook? I took my turn when it came around and people ate. Yeah, my specialty was sweet potato casserole, and everybody did. They raved about it. They did like it. Dorm living versus open living the way we used to do at the fire station. I've never been in that situation where we had dorms to live in versus or cubicles versus the openness. I really don't know what it would be like to stay in a fire station and be secluded from anyone. I mean, we always were together, regardless of what we were doing. So I really don't know what difference that would be, because I never worked in that environment. There was a lot of pranks that went on. A lot of firecrackers were shot off in the dorm room. Sometimes M80s. Sometimes you catch blankets on fire. There was some good times being held at the firehouse. When I came through, did we fellowship with one another away from the station? Yes. There was several of us that had different hunting groups, and we would all go hunting together, and a lot of times we'd go out and share meals together, even on our days off in the fire station. What value do I see in the interview process? Larry, I think it's a great thing to do for our families, for our kids and our grandkids, so they can have something to look at that they may find out something in this interview that they really didn't even know about us. Do I think it's essential that firefighters today would take time to talk with a retiree when they visit the fire station? I think it is essential, because we've been there, we've done that. We've got a lot of experience that we can share with the younger firefighters. I don't think I've had any experience where a younger firefighter wasn't willing to talk with me when I visited the fire station. I don't remember the first call that I ever had. I remember the first fire call that I ever drove a fire truck on. I never will forget that one.
Okay, let's hear it.
That one was at Station 8. Just 2 months after getting out of training, they moved me to Station 8 as second driver under Ed Sawyer. And I wasn't there a week before Ed let me drive my first fire call. It was a car wreck. I do remember that I drove that fire truck on for the very first time. Did we run medical calls during my career? Yes. We would ride medical calls, some on an engine company, but back when I was on the fire department, earlier in my career, we had 3 squads, and I rode Squad 2 on every medical call that EMS rode on for almost 7 years. I can remember having as many as 16 calls on Squad 2 in a 24-hour shift. How did I deal with death that we ran across? It takes time. Sometimes it takes counseling, but the time is what heals. Some things you may get healed over, but you never forget. And it was hard. I remember one call that we went on that a gentleman got hit on Highway 29 right close to Lee Street. Well, when the first car hit him, he went over top of the second car that was behind that first car, and then went up under the third car that was in line. And I had to crawl under that car and pull him out from under there when I was on Squad 2. And I never will forget it. Larry, the children really bothered me a lot when we go on calls, and I went on several fatalities during my career on the fire department, and I investigated several fatalities when I was in fire prevention. The children really bothered me. It took a while to ever get over those. The calls that we had good feelings after when we left, yeah, there was a lot of them that I felt like that we saved a huge portion of someone's home, or even though that the media never kind of grasped a hold of how much we saved, they always put how much was lost. But yeah, when we could go on a call, knock a fire down in a hurry, I felt like that we saved a lot for that family. Larry, probably which fires that I was on, the biggest fires, I wasn't first in on Davis Street, but that's probably one of the biggest fires that I remember in my career on the fire department. The Plantation Supper Club on High Point Road, or Gate City Boulevard now, that was a pretty good sized fire. Air Products out on Market Street, that was probably the most intense fire that I was on in my career. There's several. One of the greatest awards that I did receive while I was on the fire department was in 1992 when I received Firefighter of the Year for the state of North Carolina. And Larry, I felt like that it's not just, it wasn't me, it was my captains, my chiefs, the people that I worked with that gave me the opportunity to be involved in as much stuff as I was involved in. So I don't take that award lightly. I didn't take it for just myself. I felt like that all of us shared in with that because everyone enabled me to be able to do what I needed to do to be recognized to win an award like that. How did 9/11 affect me? Larry, because of my experience as a firefighter, it broke my heart to see these first responders losing their lives the way they did. And not only losing their lives that day at the scene, but having to suffer through the illnesses and things that they had to suffer through because of that fire, because of 9/11. Any mentors that I had on the fire department? Yeah, there was several. My spiritual mentors, I never will forget, was Gary Church, Skip Nix. There was several people that helped me through the years. Carrie Hensley, spiritually. There was a lot of people. Danny Shoemate, he encouraged me to, if I wanted to be seen and be able to advance my career. I was a driver at Station 15, and he encouraged me to go to an active station where people could see what I was doing, and give me a better chance at being promoted. Probably the biggest change that I observed during my time on the fire department was when they put the incident command in place. That was a big change for everyone. When they put the squads in place, that was a big change for the fire department. And then just about the time that I was retiring, they were putting computers and everything in the trucks. So I know that had to be a big change. You're asking how I cope with firefighters when they lose their life. Larry, unless you are a firefighter, you'll never understand. It's a bond that we have with one another that lasts a lifetime. And when a fellow firefighter loses their life, it doesn't matter if they're on duty, off duty, or whatever the case is. It feels like a piece of you has been ripped out of you, and it's just it leaves an empty hole. There's no other way to put it. There's a bond that never can be broken. Did I ever work with any female firefighters? Yes. Greensboro hired the first female firefighters 4 years after I came on the fire department. And I was stationed at Station 15 with Deanne Staley and then Anita Strong. Those were the two female firefighters that I ended up working with while I was on the fire department. Was I in the armed forces? No. We had the lottery when I was 18 years old. My lottery number was 250. They got up to 215 that year, so I did not get drafted. Describe what a successful firefighter is. Larry, I guess it goes along with anything in life. When you feel like you've done a good job, and sometimes not a good job, but a great job, you can have success in anything that you do in life. Being a firefighter, going all the way up the ranks just to be chief of the whole fire department, that is success in a way. But it's not true success that we feel that we get the most out of. I feel like it's being serving the people, the citizens of Greensboro. If we serve them and we help them, then yes, we were a success at our job. I got saved at the age of 18 years at 16th Street Baptist Church. Faith has always been important to me. God has always been important. I know He's always been there through everything that I've ever been through. I've let Him down many times, but He's always been there. My family has always been there. I don't think a firefighter can be a true firefighter to his and give 100% unless the family supports him. Because you think about it, we're gone from them 1/3 of our life. We miss Christmases, we miss Thanksgiving, we miss birthdays. There's a lot of things that we miss when we decide to be a firefighter because of our work schedule. And it takes the support of your family in order to be a firefighter. I have prayed during the fires several times, especially air products. When those acetylene tanks were exploding, they came through the side of that metal building, go whizzing over our heads as a flat piece of metal. Yeah, there's times that you pray on the fire. How has my health been? Since I retired from the fire department, I've had a massive heart attack. I've had a pacemaker put in. I've had several surgeries. I've had skin cancer several times. But through it all, God's been good to me. What would I want the fire department to remember about me? I guess the most important thing, Larry, is for people to remember the faith that I have in God. That I've always tried to be a godly person. I've always tried to help people any way that I possibly could. And know that I was dedicated to my job. My job meant a lot to me. And if people would just know those things about me, I think I would be okay. What I say is to some new recruits, I just try to encourage them any way I could to be the best of the best at everything that they did on the fire department. It's not just a job. It's not just a career. It's more than that. It's something that you have to just kind of pour your heart and soul out of you and into other people. And I think that's where an experienced or retired firefighter could really benefit a brand new rookie class. I think that they need someone to pour their heart and soul into them. Every one of us need encouragement. My opinion, yes, firefighters, the rookie classes need retirees to come out and talk to them before they graduate from their training class. What I want my family to remember about me, they already know how strong my faith is in God. My grandkids, my younger kids, they probably don't know everything that my career on the fire department entailed. I would like them to be able to see this interview. I'd like for them to know and learn something that out of this interview that they didn't know about me with my career on the fire department. My wife, my kids, my grandkids, my fellow firefighters, I love you all. I always will. It's just, if the new recruits are coming in, get an opportunity to see these interviews, I just would like to tell them, keep your mind open. When you see a retired firefighter come by the station, pick his brain, talk to him, get everything you can out of them, because that's a lot of experience. There's a lot of encouragement that can come out of that retiree into these younger firefighters. That's about what
The Greensboro Firefighters History Book Committee hopes you have gained a greater insight into the dangers, the challenges, and emotional events that have influenced and shaped the American firefighter.